Okay, so you've clicked on this video because you want to know how to start self-improving. Well, I'm going to show you that in this video and how I went from this guy to this guy in a couple years. So, the number one thing is you need to start getting your mind right. And how do you get your mind right? By going to the fucking gym. Okay? By far, the gym has been the one aspect of my life that has changed every other aspect. Okay, this is where you really learn discipline, and it lets it transfer over into every other thing inside of your life. And as a beginner, you don't need to worry about going into specifics because you are a beginner. So anything you do will lead to progression. So just focus on the habit of showing up, which will ultimately lead to you bettering your life and your mind because you are solitary. You are by yourself. Try to see if you can do this by yourself. Obviously, it's nice to have a partner in this and that, but I found personally that when I start to go to the gym by myself, at least in the beginning, this is where my mind really started to shift and things started to change for myself. So let's get a nice workout in, and then we'll get into the second point.
Painfully fat, you should not be celebrated. Life's too short to exercise. I'm just gonna be honest.
And just in general, he's talked about obesity and quote unquote watching what you eat. I really want to like Dr. Mike on YouTube, but he really has some fat-phobic tendencies.
Actively not wanting to be fat is fat phobia, and therefore, you're fat phobic.
Okay guys, so we just got done with the gym, as you can see in the background, and there's a very important thing that I need to mention here at this part in the video is everything I'm mentioning, you are in control of, right? I'm not here to give you advice on this and that you cannot change, that you have no input on, that can directly affect you, right? These are all things that you can change, right? And that's why I'm giving you this advice to help you change, as I've helped myself. Now, with that being said, right, the gym is so important and crucial because it helps you become more of a man, right? You become stronger, you become more feared, your presence is felt, the energy, the way people talk to you, it's a big thing, right? So it's important to understand that in going to the gym, in getting stronger, this helps you become more of a man, and in that process helps you change your mind. So let's go back home and get on to the second point. The next thing you need to do is find somewhere to put all of your potential. Now, what does this mean? This means you need somewhere to put all of your energy, and this has to be very strategically placed. You need something that has uncapped potential. So in my opinion, the best thing for you to do is go start a business or get a sales position. And I say this because in these two industries, there's really no cap on how much you can do, how much money you can make. And in doing this, it builds character, builds development, which ultimately helps your mind. Right? In you seeing progression, it helps develop you as a person. And in addition, all the outputs are directly in correlation to the inputs, meaning you get out what you put in. As you'll start to realize here, this only works if you do, right? Whatever you give, you will get. There's no ins and outs, buts, ifs, whatever it is. It's directly affected by your input and how much effort you're willing to put in. Now, you're probably wondering, Brandon, what kind of business can I start? What kind of sales position can I get? I'll give you a few examples, but they're very easy, and it's very easy as well for you to just look this up. So don't be lazy, but definitely I would recommend building a brand around yourself. So it's that, if that's pursuing social media, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, whatever it is. I've done the same for myself. I'll pop up my Instagram and my TikTok here on the page as well as you guys can see I'm actively pursuing YouTube. Now, the other thing you can do, start a social media marketing agency or creative agency, whatever you want to call it, where you help businesses. The other thing you can do is go start a service-based business. Go clean windows, go clean gutters, go pressure wash, whatever it is. I've all done this growing up with my family, and I'm telling you from experience, these things help you to stop thinking and getting paid by the hour and getting paid by the job and commission, as that moves into our sales position description. And what I mean by that is go get a sales job, for example, where you are working as a car salesman or a real estate agent. Those kind of positions where you're strictly getting paid based off of your performance and your ability to close deals and get work done, right? Because I say this from experience as well. I've worked for one of the most globally known car brands out there, BMW. I was partially working in sales. I was actually shadowing all the sales positions because that's eventually what I wanted to do. But I came to realize I want the time and freedom, and that's why I actually didn't pursue doing that, and I had some other opportunities come up. But in that environment, you learn so much about sales. It's beautiful. And in addition, you start to get paid on what you're getting done and not just for being there, right? Obviously, I was still half position, so I was getting paid for both being there and getting put on deals at the same time. But it was one of the best experiences I've ever had in my life while working there, because I've learned so much about sales and just character development. It helps you to how to talk about, sensitive topics, asking the right kinds of questions, getting to the points, not wasting your time. All of these things that really I was able at this point in time to take over and put into my business that I'm currently running. And it's just beautiful. It really teaches you a lot about discipline, this and that as well. Because at the end of the day, if you put in the work, as I mentioned already, you will get rewarded. Now, the next thing you're going to want to do. No, guys, but on a serious note, you're definitely going to want to read some books. I just have some examples here: Think and Grow Rich, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, and Rich and Poor Dad. Now, the reason you're going to want to read books is more so because of what they teach you mentally, right? You can read a sales book, but you'll learn way more by actually selling than you will by reading any book, right? But what I found is these books really helped me early on when I was slowly just starting to shift my mind, because it really helped me self-improve on the things I wanted to improve on, right? Like I was looking, how do I get money? Like, what is money, right? Because I started day trading, and you need to understand like what it is you want, right? Like why was I day trading? Because I wanted money. So what is money, right? And that's what helped me. Reading all of these really started to shift my mental. And as we know, if you are a trader, it's 80% psychology. So I had to make sure that I got my mind right so that everything else would follow. With that being said, let's get on to the last point of this video. Okay guys, so to end this video off, this is probably going to be the most important part, which is you need to be very conscious of the information you're letting in your head. And I say this because you might not know it, but everything you consume comes in subconsciously. And with that being said, so what I did actually was I unfollowed a bunch of people back in 2020 when I first started, and I only followed people that I could learn from. Other than that, on my following were people that I really, cared about, like my friends, for example. Now, if somebody isn't supporting what you're doing, stop hanging out with them. It's very simple. You do not need that negativity around. You only need people that will lift you up. In addition, you only need people that you can learn from. Because if there's no growth to be made, what's the point, right? Unless it is true friendship, I personally don't see any other, at least for my goals and what I want to achieve, I don't see any relevance to be made there, and that's probably only going to pull me down instead of pulling me up. Now, with that being said, mentorships are huge, and that ties back into that because they don't have to be paid mentorships, right? All the people I follow, if you go actually look on my following on this YouTube channel, you'll see all the people I follow them for specific reasons. There's certain things that I'm learning from them, if it's the way they're recording their videos, if it's just information that they're giving to me that they've learned on their journey as I'm giving to you as I've learned on mine. There's always something that I'm picking up on, because this has to work. And in order for it to work, I need to work. And the best maximum output I can give is if I am knowledgeable and applying that knowledge. And that's why I'm always looking for ways to learn and grow. And in doing that, it will help me achieve what it is that I want to achieve, right? Now, this is different for every person, and that's why I can't give you book recommendations or mentor recommendations. Those that are looking for recommendations, I will keep those in other videos if your aspirations are the same as mine. And that is to be young, wealthy, and happy. Because with that, I can help people, I can help myself, and it just basically do everything I've wanted to do. Now, some might say that's harsh, but it's the fact. It's the reality of it, bro. I just want to be rich, young, happy, and handsome, right? Like, that's it. So if your goals align with mine, then definitely stick around the channel. You'll see the growth as you have been. If you look at my videos 3 years ago to the person I've become now, it's huge. I'm definitely still doing the things I'm doing because I don't give up. If you give up, it's the only way to fail. But yeah, this might be a little long talking segment, but this YouTube channel is purely to just document my journey and help you guys extract as much information in that process as possible. So hopefully you guys learned something. Like I mentioned, self-improving is what's going to get you to achieving your goals and achieving progression, because it's just going to help you out. And as I mentioned, the business doesn't work unless you do, right? So self-improving you will self-improve the business, and that's ultimately the goal here, right? To make sure it works. So with that being said, I love you guys all. Get to work, and I'll see you in the next one.